Good morning, friends. This topic is very relevant and it is badly required by every one of us. The fact that we often talk about facing an interview. See, the fact that all of us consider any sort of interview as a big challenge, but that's not the reality. The fact that we do not look at facing an interview with a different perception, rather we look it as an examination, or rather most of us consider it as an oral test. But that is a big mistake. The fact that we should understand this very clearly, that an interview is more like your personality test. When you are facing an interview, the interviewer, the board of questioners, they just want to test your all-round ability. It is just not simply the knowledge that is tested. Rather, the interviewer's aim is to tap out the best out of you. That means the very first thing, your attitude towards that work that you have opted to work as. Suppose you have opted to work as an administrative officer. The interviewer will certainly tap out the administrative skill in you. Then they will also analyze and question you about your communicative ability, communication skill. That is very, very important. If a person, whatever profession he is or she is going to opt for, is not well versed in communication skill, that even if she or he is having a dearth of knowledge, the knowledge becomes of no avail. Therefore, friends, it is very important that we should prepare ourselves for any kind of interview. It is rather more challenging to prepare for an interview than for a written test. For a written test, you have to respond to the written questions either by MCQ or by writing the answers subjectively. But the interview is quite an objective affair. It is not a subjective affair. It tests your all round ability, your proficiency, and your knowledge, as well as your skill and attitude. How you have taken, what is your perception of life towards that very job that you have opted for? What are your previous experience about that job? Or what knowledge, academic knowledge you have acquired, which can make you eligible and competent enough? And how better you are communicating to the people over there. If you are not able to give a convincing answer to the questions, and if you're not able to communicate well, that means there is a very rare chance that you'll be selected. So, friends, there are three ingredients of facing an interview, particularly at an executive and at an academic level, particularly at a level which is said to be educational level or level of executive. The very first thing that they will test you, that will be your presence of mind. However fine, however excellent academic qualification you may have, but if you are not confident in reproducing the answer or the response to the question asked by the board of questioners, you will not be selected. Second thing, that you must try to listen to the questioner, listen to the board of the members, that what kind of question they are willing to ask and what are their intention in putting that question, whether they want your objective approach or a specific approach or overall approach towards that question. If you are not analyzing the question before answering, you may commit a big mistake. Therefore, whenever you face an interview, keep your presence of mind at the best of your ability. Then keep all your academic knowledge sharp. Revise the, subject matter that you have read. Suppose if you have done MA in, commerce or MA in political science or economics, then you must be very good in comprehensively answering the questions related to your subject: economics, political science, history. You must have a very sound knowledge of the subject matter. Besides that, you must bring out the best of your communication skill. That means while you are answering the questions, you should not be reluctant in giving the right answer at the right moment. So, your fluency, your proficiency of language matters a lot at an interview, and your sharpness, presence of mind, your intelligence, and your way of responding to the questions, how you are responding to the question, what is the perception of your looking at the question and answering the questions, whether you are able to analyze it in a proper manner or not, whether you are able to give the subjective or objective answer to that question, whether you are giving it substantially better answer or you are giving partially correct answer. So there is no scope of partially correct answer. You should give a very comprehensive answer of each and every question. For instance, if a questionnaire asks you about any sort of questions related to your subject matter, you should go into the depth of that question and try to bring out the best of your answers before the board of the members, so that it will be convincing, it will be analytical, logical, and it will be very much relevant to the question asked by the members. So, friends, there are three ingredients. One is your presence of mind, the attitude that you are having, the perception of looking at the interview, with what perception and attitude you are taking the interview: positive approach, good approach, and a very excellent attitude, or you are just going randomly or casually. That depends upon you. The second one is that your the knowledge of your subject matter, and the third one is that the general awareness about the changes that is taking place in the that very field where you are going to be appointed. And fourthly, the analytical answers of some of the questions which might be away from your subject, but it will test your intelligence. So that is what I wanted to suggest, friends. Always keep a brilliant presence of mind, always have the best communication skill, and always have the depth of knowledge of your subject matter. Then only you will be able to pass the interview of any kind, any level, or any profession. And that is what I wanted to sum up. Thank you. Have a nice day.